All right, we're about to take a journey deep inside our own bodies to uncover a hidden but absolutely essential process that basically runs the show for our digestive health. It's happening right now, inside you, and you probably don't even know it exists.
You know that sound, right? That gurgle your stomach makes, usually in a dead silent room. We always just laugh it off and say, "Oh, I must be hungry." But what if I told you it's actually the sound of a highly sophisticated internal housekeeping system just starting its shift?
Yep, that's right. That rumble isn't just your stomach being empty. It's the sound of your gut's own personal housekeeper, methodically cleaning up the mess from your last meal.
So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to meet the secret housekeeper. Then, we'll follow its cleaning route and see what happens when the cleaning stops. After that, we'll figure out how to get it working, and finally, we'll see why this is the true foundation of gut health.
Okay, so let's properly introduce this unsung hero that's been working behind the scenes.
It's officially called the Migrating Motor Complex, or MMC. Now pay close attention to that key phrase on the slide, during fasting. This is the whole secret, right here. The MMC is not digestion. It's a totally separate cleaning process that only kicks in when you are not eating.
You know, the best way to picture this is as a powerful, slow-moving wave. It starts up at one end and just methodically pushes everything forward, making sure the whole system is reset and ready to go for your next meal.
And what's it actually cleaning? I mean, we're not just talking about big leftover chunks of food. This wave sweeps away tiny, undigested food particles, it stops bacteria from setting up camp where they don't belong, and it clears out all the old cellular gunk and mucus. It's a serious deep clean.
So how does this great gut sweep actually play out? Let's trace its path and get a feel for its routine.
So the MMC isn't just happening all over the place. It has a very specific job to do, mainly in your upper GI tract, so your stomach and crucially your small intestine. And it is strictly a one-way street.
This wave of contractions is super organized. It kicks off in the stomach, then it migrates, hey, that's where the name comes from, down into the first part of the small intestine, and it just keeps on sweeping through all 20-something feet of it, pushing all that debris down toward the colon to be shown the door.
And here we are. This is the golden rule, the single most important thing to get about all of this. This housekeeper has one non-negotiable term. It only works when the kitchen is closed. The second you eat or even drink something with calories, bam, the cleaning crew clocks out. Instantly.
So how long does a full cleanup take? Well, on average, for one complete wave of the migrating motor complex to get from the stomach all the way to the end of the small intestine, we're looking at about 90 to 120 minutes.
It is so critical to understand that the MMC is not the same thing as peristalsis. Peristalsis is the process that moves your food along for digestion while you're eating. The MMC is the housekeeping that happens after the meal is over and the system is empty. They are two totally different jobs for two totally different states, fed versus fasting.
Okay, so what happens if this super important cleaning service gets disrupted all the time or just stops working right? Well, the consequences can be pretty significant.
To put it really simply, if the housekeeper doesn't do its job, the trash starts to pile up. All those leftover food particles and bacteria, they're just allowed to hang out and multiply in the small intestine, a place that's supposed to be kept relatively clean.
And this is where we can draw a straight line from the cause to the effect. When the MMC is impaired, you get this cascade of issues. Things aren't moving, so you get bloating. The bacteria that hangs around can lead to overgrowth, which causes inflammation and something called dysbiosis, which is just a fancy word for your gut bacteria being all out of balance. So many common digestive complaints, they trace right back to this one root cause.
Now for the good news. We actually have a ton of control over this system. So let's talk about how we can support and activate our gut's housekeeper.
So how do we get this system back on track? Honestly, the main way to support your MMC is to give it the one thing it needs more than anything else: uninterrupted time. This really just means spacing out your meals. Constant grazing or snacking, even on healthy food, is basically like telling the housekeeper to stop working every time they pick up a broom. The job never gets finished.
And how do you know if your housekeeper is working efficiently? You'll feel it. I mean, think about it. Can you comfortably go 4 or even 5 hours between meals without feeling ravenous? Do you have minimal gas or bloating? Are your bowel movements pretty regular and predictable?
These aren't just random good signs. They are direct feedback that your gut's cleaning system is humming along nicely.
Okay, let's wrap this up by really understanding why the MMC isn't just some minor detail, it's the absolute bedrock of a healthy digestive system.
This quote from the source material really just says it all. You can have the perfect diet, you can take all the right supplements, but if your gut's internal cleaning system isn't working, you are constantly fighting an uphill battle. The MMC is foundational. Period.
And that leaves us with the most important question of all. Looking at your own daily habits, are you creating enough space between your meals for this vital cleaning wave to actually do its job? It's a simple question, but the answer could have profound implications for your overall health. Thank you for joining this explainer.